Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this hat here. You're going to have to know how to do double crochets in the back loops, and front post double crochets. If you know how to do all that, oh, and singles. If you know how to do all that, it's very easy. I think it turned out really nice. It's made in one of my favorite colors. This can be made for a man or a woman. I'll go ahead and give you a measurement on it here. So it is about 7.5 inches, 7 3/4 inches long. I do tell you in the video how you can make it a slouchy if you want, and if you want it shorter, you can leave off one of these rows of single crochet here at the end. And I wear a size 21-inch circumference of your head is what you want to measure, so it fits me. And also I tried it on my son, who has a 23-inch head, and it fits him. So anywhere between 21 and 23-inch head, it should fit just fine. So you guys want to do this? I love it. It's beautiful. It's a keeper hat for me. Let's get started on it. Okay, for this project I'm using some hand-dyed yarn that was dyed for me from one of my good friends, Gary from Urban Yarns. Now he has a YouTube channel. He is excellent. He is one of my favorite YouTubers. I'll put a link to his channel below, if up on the screen also. Check him out. I highly recommend him. But he dyed this yarn. He doesn't sell it, but he did dye this, and he sent it to me. So you don't have to use this yarn. It is a 4-weight yarn, so any 4-weight yarn will work just fine. I'm using a 4-weight superwash merino. So yeah, any 4-weight will work. There are 149 yards in this cake here, and that will be enough to make the hat. Again, Gary, thank you very much if you're watching. This yarn is beautiful. And then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot on our hook. And then we're going to work a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch to form a ring. So I go in and then I throw my tail over and I grab my main yarn. I always put my middle finger into the ring so I don't lose it when I do my slip stitching, because sometimes that happens. So go ahead and, oops, slip stitch like that. All right, so now we're going to chain 3, and that chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet here and for the rest of the pattern. So now what we want to do is we want to put 11 double crochets through the center of the ring. So counting this chain 3, which is acting as a double, we'll have a total of 12. So go ahead and start off. You yarn over and go through the center of the ring, draw up a loop, and do your double crochet as normal. So we want to do a total of 11. So when we add this chain 3, we'll have 12 total. So this is number 1 that we did through the ring, number 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I went ahead and did my 11 double crochets through the center of the ring, and counting this chain 3, I have a total of 12 double crochets. So now what I want to do is you can pull your tail there, and that'll close up that center circle a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead and end round 1 by slip stitching into the top of our chain 3, and you'll have a total of 12 double crochets now. Now we're going to start round 2. Round 2, we are going to start with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet into the same stitch. So actually around this chain 3 right here from the previous row, we're going to do a front post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go around the post like that, and double crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to do a regular double crochet on top of it. And we're going to do a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. So yarn over, go around the post of the stitch, and double crochet. Next stitch, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a double crochet into the top of it, and then we're going to go around the post of it and do a front post double crochet of the same stitch. So this is the pattern we're going to repeat for round 2. Every stitch we are going to put a double crochet into the top of it and a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. Again, double crochet into the next stitch and a front post double crochet around the post of the same stitch. And we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get back to our starting point. Alright, I've come to the end of round 2, and you should have a total of 24 stitches now, and we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching it into the top of our chain 3. Okay, now we're going to start round 3 by chaining 3, which counts as a double. And then we're going to work in our next stitch. Now, the next stitch, we're going to put a double crochet into the top of it and a front post double crochet around the post of it, the same stitch. And you can see it's a post stitch from the previous row, just like that. Now the next stitch, we're just going to put 1 double crochet into the top of it, and then the next stitch we're going to put a double crochet into the top of it and then a front post double crochet around the post of it. And as you can see, it is a post stitch from the previous row. We're just keeping our post stitches lined up. Next stitch is just 1 regular double crochet, and the next stitch will be a double crochet and a front post double crochet into the same stitch. So there's my double crochet, and then I'm going to go around the post of the same stitch and do a front post double crochet. So that's the pattern repeat for round 3. 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then the next stitch is going to be a double crochet and a front post double crochet into the same stitch. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I've come to the end of round 3. You should have ended your last stitch should have been where you did a double crochet and a front post double crochet into the same stitch, and you should have a total of 36 stitches now. Now we end by slip stitching into the top of our beginning chain 3, and we're going to start round 4. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Now in the next stitch we are going to put a front post double crochet around the next stitch. And then in the next stitch we're going to do a double crochet in the top of it and a front post double crochet around the post of it. And if you look, you can see it is the post from the previous row. Now we're going to kind of repeat what we just did. So we're going to start out by putting a double crochet into the next stitch. And the next stitch will be a front post double crochet. Right around this double crochet here, we're going to do a front post double crochet. And the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet and a front post double crochet into the same stitch. So we go into it and we work a double, and then we go around the post of it and we work a front post double, just like that. Again, double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet or front post double crochet into the next, right around the next we do a front post double, and the next stitch is going to be a double crochet and a front post double into the same stitch. So there's a double and a front post double. Let's repeat that one more time. So we're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, a front post double around the next, and the next will be a double and a front post double into the same stitch. So there's the double and then the front post double. So I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I am coming to the end of round 4, and your last stitch should have been where you did a double crochet and a front post double into the last stitch, and we're going to end by slip stitching into the top of our chain 3. Show a total of 48 stitches now. Let's go ahead and start round 5 by chaining 3, which counts as our double crochet. Now we are going to put a front post double crochet into the next stitch. You can see it is a post stitch from the previous row. That. And then we're going to put a regular double crochet into the top of the next. And then the next stitch is going to be where we put a regular double crochet and a front post double crochet into the same. So there's the regular, and in the same stitch we do the front post double, just like that. So again, we're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, a front post double crochet in the next, a regular double into the next, and in the next we're going to do a regular double and a front post double. So there's my regular double and a front post double, just like that. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. So one more time, we're going to do regular double crochet, and then in the next stitch a front post double crochet, the next stitch regular double crochet, and in the next stitch regular double crochet and a front post double crochet in the same stitch. Let's do that one more time. Regular double crochet, front post double crochet into the next, regular double crochet into the next, and the next is a regular double and a front post double into the same stitch. Now I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get back to our starting point. Alright, I've come to the end of round 5, and your last stitch should have been where you do a regular double and a front post double. You should have a total of 60 stitches now, and we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet. Alright, so now we're going to start round 6. Round 6 is going to start the repeat rows. Okay, so we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're not going to be doing any more increasing. So we're going to do a front post double crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So one here and one here. And a front post double crochet around the next stitch. And you can see it's a post stitch. And keep our posts lined up. A double crochet into the next stitch, and a front post double crochet into the next. So we're not increasing, we're just keeping our posts lined up. Between 2 posts we'll have 2 regular double crochets, and between the next 2 posts you're just going to have 1 double crochet. So let's repeat that again. Double crochet into the next 2 stitches. There's 1 and there's 2, and front post double crochet around the next, double crochet into the next stitch, and front post double crochet around the next, and we repeat. Double crochet into the next 2 stitches. There's 1 and there's 2, and front post double crochet around the next, and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and a front post double crochet around the next. So we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get to the end of round 6. Alright, I come to the end of round 6. Your last stitch should have been a front post double crochet, and we're going to end by slip stitching into our first double crochet, or the beginning chain 3 here. Now we're going to repeat row 6 2 more times. So row 7 and 8 are going to be the exact same thing we just did on row 6. So we'll start out with a chain of 3, and we're just going to repeat row 6. So I'm going to do a front post double into the next, and a double crochet into the next 2, 1 and 2, front post double into the next, double into the next, front post double into the next. So remember, we're just keeping our posts lined up. You'll have 2 double crochets between 2 sets of posts, and 1 double crochet between the other 2 sets of posts. So I'm on round 7 now. I'm repeating row 6, and then I'm going to do it again for round 8. So I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 8. You should have 60 stitches at the end of each round, okay? Alright, I've made it to the end of round 8. It's okay if you're flipping up like that. It will do that, but we're going to fix it. So you should have 60 stitches now. You can flip it back around if you want. We will still have 60 stitches. We should have had 60 stitches. So we're going to begin row 9 now. Row 9, we're going to chain 3. And now we're just going to be working 1 double crochet in every stitch. So we're not going to be doing any front post double crochets. It's just 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. So this is round 9 that we're on right now. Oops. And just like this. So 1 double in every stitch until you make it back to your starting point. See that? Alright, I'm coming to the end of round 9. I should have 60 stitches there, 60 double crochets. We're going to end by slip stitching into the top of a beginning chain 3, like that. Now we're going to chain 3 again, and we're going to do a row of double crochets again, but we're going to be working in the back loop only this time. So this next stitch here, you see how there's 2 loops. The one loop closest to you is the front loop, the loop furthest away is the back loop. So I'm going to work a double crochet, but I'm only going to go into that back loop. And I'm going to do that 1 double crochet in the back loop of every stitch all the way around. This is round 10 that I'm on, until I get back to my starting point. And if you look, by doing that, this isn't like necessary, but it puts a little ridge there, just a little bit of added texture. So I'm going to continue putting 1 double crochet in the back loop only of every stitch until I make it back to my starting point. And I'll meet back up with you right here. Alright, so I made it to the end of row 10, and I went ahead and end by slip stitching into my first chain, top of my chain 3 there. And I still should have 60 stitches. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to repeat round 10 until I reach a total of 13 rounds. So I'm going to do 11, 12, and 13 are all going to be a repeat of round 10, where we chain 3 and we put a double crochet in the back loop of every stitch. So right now I'm on round 11, working a double crochet in the back loop of every stitch. And when I get to the end of round 11, I will end by slip stitching into my first double crochet, or the top of my beginning chain 3, 60 stitches. I'll always have 60 stitches, and then I'll repeat it again for round 12 and one more time for round 13. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, back loop in, or double crochet in the back loop of every stitch until I finish out round 13. I'll be back up with you when I get there. Alright, I have made it to the end of round 13, and I went ahead and ended by slip stitching into my top of my chain 3 there, and I have 60 stitches. So now what we're going to do is repeat round 6. So if you look in the comment section, the very first comment, it'll be from me, and it will have a timestamp to the repeat row of round 6, but I'll go ahead and show you. So for round 14, we're going to repeat 14 and 15. We're going to repeat round 6. So we're going to chain 3. See how, if we remember this. Chain 3. We're going to put a front post double crochet into the next stitch. So no more working in the back loops now. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1, and then 1 into the next, and then a front post double crochet in the next, and then 1 double crochet into the next, and a front post double crochet into the next, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2. So there's 1 there, 1 there, and front post double crochet into the next. And that's what we're going to be repeating. Remember, there will be 2 double crochets between these 2 sets of posts, and 1 double crochet in between these 2 posts. And then there'll be 2 double crochets, and the next one will have 1 double crochet between the posts. So 1 double crochet into the next, and a front post double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next 2, and then a front post double crochet. So I'm on round 14. I'm going to repeat round 6. For round 14, you'll have 60 stitches, and then I'm going to do it again for round 15, and I'll still have 60 stitches. Alright, I've made it to the end of round 15. Now you can try it on and see if you want to do another round just like this, depending on how long you want your hat. If you want to make it a slouchy, you can do a couple more rounds like this. That's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead, and for round 16, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So I'm going to go right back into that very first stitch and single crochet, and then in the next stitch right here, single crochet. So 1 single crochet in every stitch around for round 16. Remember, if you wanted a slouchy, you can just continue doing rounds 14 and 15 for a few more rounds to get a little bit longer. But I'm going to continue around, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until I make it back around to the beginning. Alright, I've made it to the end of round 16. I have my 60 stitches. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first single crochet, and I'm going to repeat round 16 one more time. So for round 17, I'm going to chain 1, go back into the same stitch and single crochet, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. And when I get back to my starting point, I'll have 60 stitches. I'll end by slip stitching into my first single crochet, and I'll go ahead and tie my yarn off and hide my tails. So this will be the last round that I do. Alright, I'm finished. I like it. I think it turned out really good. It's going to be another keeper hat for me. I love hats. I always wear them, and it'd be a special hat because Gary dyed this yarn. Plus, this is one of my favorite colors. I love copper. It's beautiful. So I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. I hope it wasn't too hard up here increasing those post stitches. Thanks everybody for watching, and don't forget to check out all my other videos. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my videos at all. Turn on your notifications, and I will see you on my next video, okay? Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe, all right? Bye-bye.